you're moving from place to place, place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Good morning, and welcome to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television. It is Tuesday, the 12th day of August, 2025, and we're coming to you live from the Port Mall here in Scarborough, Tobago. I am Adana Kambi, and this is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it.
Good morning, and my name is Akinana Beholder, and it's good to be back. It's good to be back in studio, Adana. I am here.
I know we missed you for an entire week and a day, but thankfully you are here this morning, and we're happy to have you in studio with us this morning. Last week there was a lot of activity, and again on the island of Tobago over the weekend.
Yes.
There were so many things happening. There was the Dodds diving, the celebration of Steel Pan, so many things happening on the island of Tobago, and Tobago came out in their numbers. Yesterday we spoke about the Dodds diving and how proud we are to have hosted that event, an event of that magnitude. I think out of Norway we are the only other country they held it in.
Yes.
And I mean, when I looked at the crowd that turned up there in Charlottesville, and when I looked at some of the photos, I mean, we have some amazing photographers on the island, and let's give some kudos.
There were some really quality, top quality photos coming out of the diving challenge. And what surprised me was the crowd. There was a lot of people came out to see it, and it's an excellent first year. It's an excellent first year. I hope we have it again.
Yes, I hope so too. And that people really get to express themselves in this type of way. I wasn't there, but when I did dive was when they took the diving board and they were hyping up the crowd, and they were actually responding to them and giving them the confidence to take the diving. And
I really appreciate that the crowd was so excited for something that we not really accustomed to in Tobago. They were really excited for the event. They really appreciated the efforts of the divers, and the crowd really was in step with the divers, and it made the entire event very exciting and entertaining. And kudos to Tobagonians for going out there and showing the support 100%.
One thing about Tobagonians, we will show up. We will show up when it comes to representing the island of Tobago. Tobagonians really come out and they show up. So yes, kudos to Tobagonians. Look at this one. The Tobago culture got into him somehow. Look at him. And so I'm really, really happy that even not just Tobagonians, but the persons who came to Tobago for the show, they also had a good time, and they were able to immerse themselves into a part of the culture of our people as well. So that was something absolutely awesome.
Yes.
So viewers, we do hope that you were able to take in parts of whatever took place on the island over the weekend, that you were able to participate, whether from your living room or in person, of course. We are happy that you're here with us this morning to go through our conversations. But before we do, we head on over to the news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Adana. Here is your news in 90 seconds for Tuesday, 12th August 2025. Tobago's leadership is ensuring island voices are heard in the national discussion on the proposed Stand Your Ground legislation. Chief Secretary Farley Augustine confirmed Tobago will participate in ongoing consultations due to potential impacts on tourism. While the Tobago House of Assembly will not host separate sessions, Augustine said members of Parliament will engage residents to gather feedback. He stressed the importance of public sentiments in guiding Tobago's stance, noting the final position will reflect Tobagonians' view on the controversial measure and its possible implications for the island's reputation and visitor experience. Up next, Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar is expected to visit Tobago before August ends, according to Tobago East MP David Thomas. Several ministers have already made official visits, with the trip likely set before Parliament's reopening to allow consultation on pending matters. Since her April 28 election victory, Persad-Bissessar has stressed building respectful cooperative ties with the Tobago House of Assembly, contrasting past tensions under the PNM. A May 27th meeting with THA Chief Secretary Farley Augustine focused on Tobago's growth, autonomy, and strengthening government-THA collaboration for the island's development. And finally, from 2025, pupils and teachers will enjoy an 8-week July-August break instead of 7 2027 following Cabinet's approval of the revised school year calendar, the Ministry of Education announced yesterday. The 39 weeks of instructions remained, with terms now running 14, 12 and 13 weeks respectively. The change aims to better balance terms, allow uninterrupted repairs and upgrade at 278 schools, and give more time to fill vacancies before reopening. Education Minister Dr. Michael Dowlett said the ministry is committed to ensuring a well-prepared and efficient start to each school year. And that was your news in 90 seconds.
Thank you, Biana, for our news there in 90 seconds. And finally, our Prime Minister is coming to Tobago. We're talking about April, and we're in what? August?
August, yes.
Coming to Tobago. Yeah, we welcome her. You know, it's our Prime Minister. Is the chief of Trinidad and Tobago right now. She's in charge of the administration of Trinidad and Tobago, and I was hoping she'd have come a little bit sooner, but I'm happy, albeit we're talking about relationship between the central government and the Tobago House of Assembly, and I don't want it to just be because the two administrations are friendly. These are things that we need to continuously discuss in terms of administrations. It doesn't matter who is in central government and who is in the Tobago House of Assembly. The aim should be to work together for the people, not because we are friendly or we have a good relationship. How about working towards developing good relationships, if not for anything else, for the people? And those are some of the things I'm looking forward to moving forward. Luckily as it is, they do have a good relationship, so he is so hoping for the best in those.
Right, and as you touch on that point, right, I am also grateful for the fact that the administration is coming to Tobago to have consultation with residents of Tobago pertaining to the Stand Your Ground legislation as well.
Yes, and it bodes well. I like that the fact that they're having the consultations, because I know a number of citizens would have concerns regarding the law, because we know a lot of us are aware of these Stand Your Ground laws in the United States and how sometimes that law be abused at times. And it's really good that the government is going out and hearing the views of the citizens, hearing the concerns, getting feedback from the citizens, so that they could really shape this law in a way where it could, let's say, stop or minimize any type of abuse of the law in the future.
My hope, though, is that people come out to the consultations, because many times we call for consultations, we call on the government to do this and do that, and here they are planning this consultation. So I do hope that people come out, and not just come out, but also air their views, their concerns, even their suggestions and recommendations, as we at this stage now of ensuring the legislation moves forward. So they have the opportunity to have their say. So hopefully we'll hear more about that. There'll be more public education, there'll be more marketing where that is concerned, and people will come out and also air their views. All right, Biana, thank you so much for joining us this morning on set and bringing us our news in 90 seconds. Do have a wonderful, wonderful day.
Same to you both.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the morning where we celebrate with those who are celebrating. It's time for our birthday shout-outs. And of course, you know that we here at Tobago Updates Television, we love a good celebration. And if you don't know the man who is on screen this morning, perhaps you're too young or you're probably living under a rock. This is Mr. Binley Benjamin, known as Binley B, the Parang Soca man of Tobago, and so we say happy birthday to you, Mr. Benjamin. We love you. We appreciate your contribution to the culture, to the art form, and we do say a happy birthday to you. We do pray God's blessings upon your life, and we hope that you have an amazing birthday season and you continue to produce good music, that you continue to contribute to the culture, and that you continue to groom even young persons to love our culture and to make their contributions as well. So happy birthday to you.
Yes, and we say happy birthday to Mr. Colonel Calendar. Happy birthday to you, Mr. Calendar. This is your special day today. Yes, today is the day that you came onto the earth, and we pray God's richest blessings in your life. We pray that everything that you do, you put God first, and that He blesses you and guides your path forward, and that everything that you put your hands to, it becomes successful, and that you're surrounded with friends and family, and you have an excellent day today, a safe day today. Happy birthday to you, sir.
And as we celebrate birthdays, we're also going to be celebrating an anniversary today. Yes, remember yesterday we celebrated part 1 of their anniversary. This is my brother and his beautiful wife, Wimana and Sita Kombi. They are celebrating 7 years of wedded bliss. Yesterday you saw their Hindu wedding, and today these are photos from their Christian wedding. And I'm telling you, that was a wedding of a lifetime. That was amazing. If you were not there, you don't even know what you missed. So happy wedding anniversary to my brother and his beautiful wife, my sister-in-law, who I love very much. And I do hope that you guys have an amazing year, that you have a wonderful celebration. You continue loving each other and being there for each other through thick and thin. So happy anniversary to you guys. And remember, even though we don't have your photographs and you are celebrating also, we are always excited to celebrate with you, of course, and we remind you to put God first, because he's the sole reason why there's even anything for you to celebrate. All right, Akinlabi, who are we having conversations with this morning in
Well,
studio?
Adana, this morning we're having conversations with Beverly Ramsey-Moore, who is the president of Pantrin Tobago, and she's going to be calling in on the line to speak with us about the future of steel pan in Tobago. Also calling in on the line, we're going to have Miss Angela Cooper, who is the PRO and the chairperson of the Tobago Day 2025 celebrations, and we're going to be talking about the countdown to Tobago Day 2025. And finally, in studio, we're going to have Miss Dana Conue, if I pronounce that correctly, who is the secretary and the treasurer of the Bagatelle Dream Builders non-profit organization. Yes, and they're going to be talking about the Back to School Jam and their 5-a-side Frenzy Small Goal Showdown.
Wow, an amazing program this morning, and I do hope that our viewers, can, stay with us as we have the conversations. We continue to celebrate Steel Pan. Yesterday was World Steel Pan Day. The steel pan is our national instrument, and so we spoke a little bit about that yesterday, the celebration, and we're going to continue celebrating for the entire week here on Tobago Updates Television, because indeed it is something to be really proud of. And we're going to be speaking with the president of Pantrin Tobago this morning, and I know that she is bursting at the seams to have the conversation with us this morning, and we do hope that you can be a part of it as well. Remember, you can leave your comments on our Facebook live stream and our YouTube channel at Tobago Updates. We want to hear from you. We want you to be a part of the conversation. We want to hear your views and your opinions, and we want to know the questions that you have to ask as well. So do stay with us, whether you are viewing far and wide or right here in Tobago, Trinidad, the Caribbean region, the United States of America, Canada, England, Africa, Australia, Europe, wherever you are this morning. We thank you so much, and we remind you that this is your opportunity to share the live, share the live, share the live. We'll be right back.
Hello, New York. Are you ready to celebrate the essence of Crusoe land and the culture of Tobago? Well, get ready for Tobago Day in New York City, hosted by the Tobago Empowerment and Alliance Mission, Sunday, August 17, 2025, Nazareth High School Courtyard, 475 East 57th Street, Brooklyn, New York, 12 noon to 8 p.m. We bring the Tobago vibes to the Big Apple. Live music, Tobago food, cultural performances, and family fun. So bring Tanty, Granny, the uncle, invite the whole neighborhood. Just bring everybody, and bring your significant other too. Come celebrate Tobago Day in New York City, Sunday, August 17th, Nazareth High School Courtyard. But hey, I forget to tell all you, it's we 10th anniversary celebration. For more information, call 929-327-7857 or check Team's Facebook and Instagram pages, Team Tobago Day.
A night of passion, power, and purpose.
The Rhythmic Vibrations and Rhythm Babes Performing Arts Company presents no excuse. Join us on Tuesday, 12th of August at the Shaw Park Complex at 6 p.m. for a night of dance, drama, and song.
This is not just a show. It's a movement, a message, a moment.
Tickets are only $125 for adults and $75 for children. You don't want to miss this.
What's your excuse?
No excuse.
I see girls, I see fun, I see winding up in the sun, I see 10 bottle of rum, DJ start the thing, let me jump. Cause I see girls, I see fun, I see winding up in the sun, I see 10 girls to a man, DJ start the thing, let me ram my shit. When my team touch down, everything get wild. Hey, 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 take out your flag and fling it up, take out something and fling it up, fling it up, fling it up high. Hey, 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 start to jump up and fling it up, take out something and fling it up.
When the game is on, you don't want to miss the best moments. With AMPLIA TV, you can enjoy our ultimate sports package and watch your favorite games on the go. Stay connected and informed with sports news, scores, and stats with AMPLIA's fastest internet speeds. Up to 1 gigabyte fiber internet, you can stream riveting football action, cricket, NBA games, and much more. With AMPLIA, it's game on. Visit amplia.co.tt or call 800-4663. AMPLIA. Do more, live more.
Quartz is well known as the Caribbean's largest retailer, providing consumers for generations with the very best products to enhance their homes. This year, we bring our expertise to businesses. Quartz Business Solutions will serve small, medium, and large companies with the very best products at the most competitive prices, backed by warranties and after-sales support. Hoteliers, office managers, restaurants, and so many more. Quartz Business Solutions, a brand of the Unicomer Group.
Hello, New York. Are you ready to celebrate the essence of Crusoe land and the culture of Tobago? Well, get ready for Tobago Day in New York City, hosted by the Tobago Empowerment and Alliance Mission, Sunday, August 17, 2025, Nazareth High School Courtyard, 475 East 57th Street, Brooklyn, New York, 12 noon to 8 p.m. We bring the Tobago vibes to the Big Apple. Live music, Tobago food, cultural performances, and family fun. So bring Tanty, Granny, the uncle, invite the whole neighborhood. Just bring everybody and bring your significant other too. Come celebrate Tobago Day in New York City, Sunday, August 17th, Nazareth High School Courtyard. But hey, I forget to tell all you, it's we 10th anniversary celebration. For more information, call 929-327-7857 or check Team's Facebook and Instagram pages, Team Tobago Day.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television, and thank you so much for staying with us. We begin conversations this morning by speaking with Mrs. Beverly Ramsey Moore, and she is the president of Pan Trinbago. And as you are aware, we are celebrating World Steel Pan Day yesterday, and we continue the celebrations for the entire week here in studio. And I know that Mrs. Ramsey Moore is really excited to have this conversation with us this morning as we talk about the future of the steel pan in Tobago. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Donna, and good morning to all my good peeps there in Tobago and to all your listeners around the world.
All right, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I know yesterday we celebrated World Steel Pan Day, and I know over the weekend in Trinidad and Tobago there were a number of activities celebrating the steel pan and where we are as a people, celebrating this beautiful instrument. And I know that you were very instrumental in getting us to where we are. What was the weekend like for you in terms of participating in events that celebrated the steel pan?
Wow, we had a great weekend. As a matter of fact, we kicked off Pan Month with several activities. And so we started our activities on Friday night at the Naparima Bowl with Echoes of Steel. So that was a beautiful event held in South Trinidad. And from Friday night into Saturday, we were in Tobago on the Esplanade, where the Tobago region and the Tobago House of Assembly, they would have held the Steel Pan Jamboree and launched Tobago's Panorama, which will be held on the 18th of October, Pan Omega. And that was a very significant event on our calendar because that new initiative, we always had Tobago Pan Champs during the carnival period. But Secretary Boris would have suggested to us, why don't you take the Panorama into the Tobago Carnival? And so the bands agreed, and so we had that massive launch in Tobago. It was epic. The bands were great. And the Esplanade, even though there was a competing event in Charlottesville, but the people came out and supported that new initiative, Pan Omega, the Tobago Panorama, coming soon on the 18th of October. So I'm just saying that's Friday night, Saturday. And then, of course, on Sunday, we had our church service, Pan on a high note of praise. And that was another beautiful event. And then yesterday now, it was Pan in your face, in your space, all over the place at Woodford Square. We had our ancestral walk, starting from Massey Trinidad All-Stars Panyard, and then we had this massive event. The people came out in their numbers at Woodford Square. I just couldn't believe it. I am lost for words in terms of the support that Trinidad and Tobago is giving. And then we had Massey Trinidad All-Stars in Times Square. And around the world, our partners around the world, they also held their event on World Steel Pan Day, which is another great achievement for the people of Tobago. And I always say that I was there in the United Nations General Assembly, in the hall, when the resolution was presented and when 83 countries supported that resolution. For me, as a child of a long-time pan man and coming from a steel pan family and a steel pan community where our players of long ago were branded as rogues and vagabonds. And today when you see that beautiful instrument that came out of an old rusty pan, old rusty drum, I should say, an instrument that is all over the world, and then to get a World Steel Pan Day for Trinidad and Tobago, that is a significant achievement. So the celebration yesterday was great, and then today we have the junior bands. 10 junior bands will be on the promenade because today is International Youth Day. So we featured 10 bands on the promenade, starting from 1 p.m. this afternoon. The young people will take over Trinidad, playing the instrument and really demonstrating their talent. So, and there is much more that is going to be happening because it is also Pan Month, and I am proud as a Tobagonian leader, a transformative leader, to be the lead in all that is happening now. And because of the resurgence in Trinidad and Tobago, it has impacted on all those steel bands and steel bands organizations around the world. I've been visiting a number of those organizations outside of Trinidad and Tobago, and the people are so excited because they are looking in on the Mecca. And it's like, Mr. Amtimo, we are so proud of you. We love what is happening in Trinidad. We love the diaspora. They are overwhelmed. And so, this morning, I just don't know. I am so blessed. I thank God really for taking charge and for giving me the lead, and because Pan is community soul, Pan is spirit, Pan will never die, and he's a good spirit.
That's right. That's absolutely right. And I can hear the excitement in your voice, and I can identify with it because I know you personally, and I know where you came from in terms of trying to get Pan to where it is. I have seen you, helping young people to fall in love with the instrument. I've seen you motivate and encourage community members and community leaders to get to where we are. So I must say congratulations to you as well for bringing us here, for being a part of what is the transformation and bringing steel pan to where it is in Trinidad and Tobago. And like you, I have seen nations across the globe celebrating our sweet steel pan over the weekend, and I was so very proud of that, to see that our instruments, a little, as you call it, an old steel pan, being glorified in that kind of way, if I can use that term. So it does make me proud as well. And so we're talking now about where do we go from here, because this is a goal that we had. We set this goal and we worked many years to get here. And of course, this is not the destination, I'm certain. There's still more work to be done where the pan is concerned in terms of recognition and celebration. So what are some of the things that you have in your mind in terms of how can we continue to ensure that the pan remains celebrated and that the younger generation coming up will understand the culture of the pan, and they will understand why we are so excited, to celebrate what we call our own?
So, because we are now embedded in the communities, and also we now see a number of young people that are so in love and involved. No long ago, when you had your events and you saw a certain demographic, you saw a certain age group, which was the older ones. But now you see a lot of young people. And one of the reasons for that, me, Adana, I can't function unless I have youth around me, So those young people would have attracted their friends. And so now we have a number of young people. So now there is greater acceptance, greater love around the world for the instrument. So the focus now is on global ascendancy and the development of the industry. The industry, we know we have a number of builders, and it is all over. So the entire ecosystem now, we have to now bring all those persons who operate in the industry together. We have the geographical indication, where now we have legal protection that yes, pan is Trinidad and Tobago. So the brand must be one common brand, Trinidad, made in Trinidad and Tobago, and there is this special logo. So that when you go to purchase a pan, you're looking for a Trini pan. So we have to break through those markets out there. Those areas that we don't have pan now. I understand that there was a memorandum of agreement signed between this government and the government of India to supply pans to India. We're also trying to break through much more in the European market. All those continents out there, we have to open up ways so that we can export. When we do that, we generate revenue for Trinidad and Tobago, foreign exchange for Trinidad and Tobago. So it's now about getting into the market and exporting. So the builders themselves must come together. We see efforts are being made now to form the Manufacturing Association of the steel pan, and I really hope that they hold this time. Also, what we have been doing from a Pan Trinbago standpoint, we have been exporting our services. So we have the service where our adjudication system, we are going out there and we are doing adjudication for those countries who have invited us, because ours is the best so far. And so we provided that kind of support. Now, whilst we are doing it for free now, so as to help them to build and to stand strong, the time will come when they will have to pay for our service. And so that in itself will generate revenue for us. We are now appealing to the world to become affiliate members. To become an affiliate member of Pan Trinbago, it comes with a fee. And then with that fee, you now will receive certain benefits, whether it's 10% off all our merch, whether it's a free ticket to come in and show, or whatever whatever, but there are several things that we can provide to our affiliate members, and we are really going after the international market to have new members come in. So it's all about diversifying our revenue streams, and then we have our tuners and our arrangers. They also go out of the country and provide service out there. So now that the market is opening wider, we see new possibilities. While the music is great, and while we know we have the band and we have the greatest show in Trinidad and Tobago, which is its panorama and the greatest show around the world, the focus must now be on how we too can provide an increase in revenue for our country, Trinidad and Tobago.
So, Mrs. Ramsey Moore, we've spoken about the future of PAN, and you spoke about PAN Trinbago exporting to new markets, and you really tapping into that international market. What is PAN Trinbago's plan in terms of, because we know that a number of persons throughout the years have attempted to patent the steel pan, and persons over the years have made raised concerns about Trinidad and Tobago protecting the steel pan and their right to the steel pan. Is that something that PAN Trinbago is also looking towards in the future, in terms of really cementing that ownership of the steel pan by PAN Trinbago, by the people of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago?
Well, you know, the time for the patent of the steel pan was way back then. That's not in my time, you know. So we know we have the issue with that aspect in terms of patent. What I can say is that the G-pan, which was developed right here at the University of the West Indies under Professor Copeland, we have some legal rights to that, and not really the ordinary pan that we play. But what I can tell you under my leadership, that we would have successfully gotten legal protection in terms of the geographical indication. Nobody could challenge that. That pan is from Trinidad and Tobago. The birthplace of the steel pan is Trinidad and Tobago. No other country in the world can claim that pan came from them. So that is what we were able to get. The time for that patent has been long gone, but Trinidad and Tobago is the birthplace of the steel pan, so we have some legal protection with respect to that.
Mr. Ramsey Moore, you spoke earlier about exporting the skill sets of a number of persons from Trinidad and Tobago, including adjudication and arrangers. And I know that in some conversations I had with the late Leandro Norrie, he indicated that there was a shortage of arrangers, a shortage of tuners in the industry, and that tuning pans is big business, not just in Trinidad and Tobago, but in the region and globally. Is PAN Trinbago looking to tap into or address the issue of, training and bringing up a new crop of tuners to really fill that gap?
So, one of the things that I have been saying since I became president, PAN is Trinidad and Tobago. The steel pan is Trinidad and Tobago. PAN Trinbago is an organization of steel bands. Our business is to manage the affairs of our steel bands. And while the Act of Parliament would have conferred a number of responsibilities on us, what we wanted is that the government and corporate and everybody else must know and realize that PAN Trinbago cannot do all things. And so, gradually, we are seeing an increase in the way that government is thinking and in the way that corporate is thinking with respect to the development of the industry, to the development of the community. So now that we have a shift in mindset, then the focus now must be all hands together to ensure that we create an enabling environment so that all these people can benefit. The ecosystem is very wide. And people, as you mentioned, or tuners. I don't know if we have any tuner in Tobago, I don't think so. So now that we have a great relationship with our Tobago Out of Assembly, the focus must now be not only on training people to make flowers in the community center and make tie-dye and make people to put in their house. Let me shift the focus now and concentrate in setting up an institution in Tobago that could treat with tuners. We have seen a growth in the terms of the arrangers here in Tobago, but there is much more. The pan cases, the pan sticks. Everybody from Tobago buying pan sticks from Trinidad. But everybody expects Pan Tobago to do it. No.
Mrs. Ramsey, I was leading to my next question now in terms of partnership with state agencies and corporate. What are some of the things Pan Tobago would like to present? Because as you rightfully said, no organization can do all things. And so what are some of the proposals or the suggestions that you would want to throw out to state agencies and corporate Trinidad and Tobago to get on board to ensure that we can continue to provide opportunities to the PAN, whether it be monetization, whether it be training, just in terms of preserving the instrument, the quality of the instrument, and who we are as a people, because I believe what we present is how we will be perceived. So what are some of the things, and you mentioned a few of them there, that other agencies can take on board as part of their responsibility for preserving the steel pan?
All right, so what we have been trying to do from a Pan Tobago standpoint is not just to have corporate Trinidad and Tobago come on board and sponsor Panorama, because basically there is where the focus is, because there's a lot of branding and a lot of people can see all that you're doing. We believe that corporate should adopt a community band. All right? So we now have only 2 brand ambassadors on board with us. BP, which is a foreign company. They sort of stepped on board, and then now we have NGC on board as corporate, as our brand ambassadors. So we have been appealing. We also see Digicel. Digicel is doing a lot for the steel pan community by setting up these tech centers in various pan yards for young people, so that they can go in homework centers, they can do the necessary training and all of that. NGC has started, I think, a tuning program for their member bands and so on. But we need to see much more of corporate Trinidad and Tobago assisting to facilitate and to collaborate with the community groups in terms of training and giving that knowledge, so that persons can now be empowered to set up small businesses. Government must definitely have a policy with respect to the steel pan industry. I know that former Minister of Trade had a steering committee where we were having a total look of the industry. But right now there is a new government, and I don't know if that has been shelved, but Pan Tobago have 2 representatives on that steering committee to take an in-depth look into the industry. I will try to reach out to the new minister. I don't know what the focus is, because I know that they are settling down. So in terms of steel pan priority, in terms of the industry, I really don't know. I'm a bit lost in the woods, but I am treading carefully, cautiously optimistic about the conversation. And so what is happening? Let me just be clear. I'm a plain talk. We were on a trajectory going forward in a powerful way, and for the meantime, over the last few months, it's as though we have a whiplash, right? So we're not busy. We're taking the time, giving people a chance to settle down, and then we know where we are going. But in terms of the policies, the new minister has expressed her willingness to support, and so we look forward to a policy that government will come up with in the not too distant future in terms of where we go with the industry, we too could increase the GDP here in Trinidad and Tobago. But we wait patiently, and I mean, the days for struggling, we talk about struggling, resilience, and we always feel in a struggling mood. The time is now for us to overcome. And so we await patiently, as I said. Pan-Trin Bago cannot do it alone. We need corporate support, we need governmental support, and the way we are going now, where the energy is clean, the ground is pure, I really, really await this new direction as we hold hands and we collaborate to really take the steel pan to another level. But we need partners. There must be partnership to do it. And so I await. I am having discussion even in Tobago. Secretary Boris wants to set up this, I should say, a steel pan empire where we train and bring young people and even senior citizens together so we can now set up that institute there in Tobago that could provide opportunities for young people. So the conversation is happening, and I look forward to the successes.
Like you, Mrs. Beverly Ramsey Moore, I also look forward to the successes, and I do hope that the conversations will continue and that they will yield rewards as well. We continue to celebrate Steel Pan, and we continue to celebrate the progress and the advances that we were able to make, and we look forward to much more in the future, because we do know that there is much more that we can yield from our sweet, sweet Steel Pan. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, and for, of course, bringing that breath of fresh air to our show this morning.
And I look forward to seeing you and Akinlabi playing the steel pan someplace in Tobago before the year is over.
All right, we will try our hand at something.
Challenge.
We'll try our hand at something. So thank you so very much, and do have a wonderful day.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've been speaking with Mrs. Beverly Ramsey Moore, president of Pan-Trin Bago, and we're talking about where the steel pan can go. We've come so far, and there's still far ahead to go. I will continue working to ensure that we get it to where we want it to be. We have to go for a short break before we continue conversations, and as we go, we invite you to help us.
Share the live, share the live, share the live.
We'll be right back.
Are you ready to celebrate the essence of Crusoe land and the culture of Tobago? Well, get ready for Tobago Day in New York City, hosted by the Tobago Empowerment and Alliance Mission, Sunday, August 17, 2025, Nazareth High School Courtyard, 475 East 57th Street, Brooklyn, New York. 12 noon to 8 p.m. We bring the Tobago vibes to the Big Apple. Live music, Tobago food, cultural performances, and family fun. So bring Tanty, Granny, the uncle, invite the whole neighborhood. Just bring everybody and bring your significant other too. Come celebrate Tobago Day in New York City, Sunday, August 17th, Nazareth High School Courtyard. But I forget to tell all you, it's our 10th anniversary celebration. For more information, call 929-327-7857 or check Team's Facebook and Instagram pages, Team Tobago Day.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
Want to get better? Where to start? What kind of exercise to do? What to eat? How to get restful sleep? Need a doctor to search for root cause? Look no further. Come to Majuba Hill Lifestyle Center Foundation at our Wellness Center in Goodwood, or Food Hub in Darrow Springs, Scarborough, or Doctor's Office in Goodwood and Darrow Spring. Contact 49 Swift 4979 438.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television, and thank you so much for staying with us. We continue to celebrate sweet steel pan music, and we have a trivia question for you this morning, and we do hope that you are able to answer it. Remember, you can leave your comments on our Facebook live stream or our YouTube channel at Tobago Updates. And here is your question for today. And it's quite easy actually. It says, name 3 steel pan arrangers from Tobago. 3 steel pan arrangers from Tobago. There are some young men who are doing their due. You might see one of them in this clip. This was the steel pan celebration on the Esplanade last Saturday as we continue to celebrate sweet steel pan. So the question for today is, name 3 steel pan arrangers from Tobago. We continue to celebrate sweet steel pan. Yesterday was World Steel Pan Day. All right, so it's time for us to get into our next interview this morning, and we start off by speaking with Miss Angela Cooper. She is the PRO and the chairperson of the Tobago Day 2025, and she's online with us to have the conversation this morning. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you guys?
We are well, thank you, and we're so happy that you are joining us this morning. We are aware we're celebrating Tobago Day in a couple of days, all right? And you are, as the PRO and the chairperson, we want to get some details. What are some of the things that you are looking forward to the most out of the annual celebration?
Personally, just a wonderful day where Tobagonians and their friends and their families can come together to celebrate that Tobago-ness, but also to see what Tobago has to offer.
And can you tell us, where did the idea stem from? Because I know they also have Tobago Day celebrations in other countries as well, but in terms of the New York version, how did the idea come about, if you can tell us, to have this annual celebration of Tobago people?
I love the question because it has so much controversy about it, I'll be honest. But when I came, I left Tobago in '87, hot off the wheels of heritage. And when I came here, I joined an organization immediately called the Tobago Cultural Association. And I said, here's what, why can't we have a Tobago Heritage Day? So it was called Tobago Heritage Day, and that's where we started the heritage. I think the first year, I always say we had 2 artists, Rootsman, now deceased, and Tracy Ann Anthony, 2. And we didn't have a tent. We had a tarpaulin with 4 pieces of wood. That was it. and their Tobago Day started. They aged out, really. That group aged out, and they handed it over to another organization. And then it went defunct for a certain amount of years. And then team, when they came into existence, they decided to bring back the Tobago Day, and that's where it grew until today, 2025.
Okay, so Tobago, we're talking Tobago Day 2025. What are some of the things, the things that will be featured in the Tobago Day 2025 that persons could look forward to?
We have performances, we have the vendors coming from Tobago, and we're always anxious to have them. We have performances coming from Tobago. We have where we always do a crab race. We started that 2 years ago. Crab is running not on grass, but on the pitch surface. We included a left-hand dumpling eating competition this year. We are also honoring the founding members of team. I think it's 8 of them. So we want to honor them and say thank you for your ideas of bringing this team together, of bringing this group together, and bringing back Tobago Day together. So with that, we have lots of entertainment and so forth for that day. So it's like a family day where people can come out and meet each other. You also have some elected officials who signed on, and they're willing to come forward to see what it's all about and what Tobago has to offer.
And I was just about to ask that question as well in terms of having an event of that nature, because I know the Tobago culture is, I mean, everybody would say their culture is unique, but Tobago culture really is unique.
I agree.
And I'm asking now, what type of persons have you been able to attract to the space? Because I'm sure it's not just Tobagonians who come into that space to enjoy what is on offer there. So tell me about some of the people who will come and engage with the culture, engage with the vendors, engage with what is happening there on an annual basis.
You have the Consul General. He comes out of Trinidad and Tobago. Andre Laveau, he stops by. We had chairperson come forward. We've had persons from the borough president office. We've had community elected officials. So they all come out to see what Tobago has to offer. They're there, they intermingle, and they because Tobago, as you said, is really, really unique and very strong in culture. I'm not saying it because I'm Tobagonian. I'm proud of that. I think Tobago has the best cultural entity that you could think about where culture is concerned, and showcasing that is what we really are about, a part of what we're about.
And when we're talking about culture, one of the things that is very, very strong in our culture is our cuisine. And I say that because, I mean, everywhere you go, you would see each country or continent or region having unique foods. But when you talk about stuff like crab and dumpling, and you're talking about making flour from provisions, and you're talking about, being innovative with the resources that we have, how have people gravitated towards the produce in terms of our food, in terms of their curiosity? How did you come up with this? How has that been?
I'll tell you the truth. A lot of people come to Tobago Day because they want the food. The food is really, really a big part of it. And they do have so much. They have crab and dumpling. You have the wild meats. You got that. You have Izan, who's coming from Tobago with her wines and so forth. So a lot of people, I have to say, must come out for the Tobago food. They want that dumpling and provision and so forth with the wild meat and everything else, with the fish stewed down in coconut sauce with okra. Yeah, we got that.
So, Ms. Cooper, I know a number of small businesses, they make their way up to the Tobago Day celebrations to sell the cuisine of Tobago, whether it's snacks or the food or, like you said, the wines. Over the years of the Tobago Day celebrations happening, do you have any testimonies of persons making any business connections in New York and really expanding their businesses and the markets for the products?
I would not have that information firsthand, but I am guessing that it does happen, because I know that there are 1 or 2 vendors that has already made some connections outside of even Tobago Day, because I mean they will go about the place, selling themselves, selling their products. But at Tobago Day, you also have those vendors or those persons coming forward and to see, okay, let me see what Tobago has to offer. Okay, yeah, we could purchase this. We could go into this business. We could collaborate with this person. So I am betting you that a lot of them have done that and was able to do it. How much it's sustained, I don't know, but I know it's a kind of hard thing to really bring to fruition. But I think we're working on it. We're working on it, and we would love to see that. We would love to see more of our Tobago products on the shelves here in New York, in Brooklyn, really.
All right. Thank you so much. And, you know, we do kind of look forward to what is happening there in New York. And we're happy for the opportunity for Tobagonians to go to New York and to show what we are made of. And, of course, we must say thank you to the Tobagonians who reside in New York and the U.S. I know people come from other states to participate in the event as well. So congratulations to you and the team there. And, of course, we do hope that you have an absolutely amazing production come over the weekend. And that, of course, things sell out. You know, we're hoping that things sell out over the weekend, and we're hoping that people really do have a wonderful, wonderful experience there as well. So thank you so much for joining us this morning and for reminding us that Tobago Day celebrations is taking place and people are going to have a wonderful time because Tobago people are absolutely awesome wherever we go.
Yes, we are. And thank you so very much for having us, for accommodating us. I mean, not for this interview only, but for previous ones. Tobago Update rocks.
Thank you so much and do have a wonderful, amazing day. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to go for a short break before we continue conversations. And as we go, we invite you to help us.
Share the live, share the live, share the live.
We'll be right back.
Hello, New York! Are you ready to celebrate the essence of Crusoe land and the culture of Tobago? Well, get ready for Tobago Day in New York City, hosted by the Tobago Empowerment and Alliance Mission, Sunday, August 17, 2025, Nazareth High School Courtyard, 475 East 57th Street, Brooklyn, New York, 12 noon to 8 p.m. We bring the Tobago vibes to the Big Apple. Live music, Tobago food, cultural performances, and family fun. So bring Tanty, Granny, the uncle, invite the whole neighborhood. Just bring everybody and bring your significant other too. Come celebrate Tobago Day in New York City, Sunday, August 17th, Nazareth High School Courtyard. But hey, I forget to tell all you, it's we 10th anniversary celebration. For more information, call 929-327-7857 or check Team's Facebook and Instagram pages, Team Tobago Day.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest, we protect. Everyone benefits.
Wet me down,
Want to get better? Where to start? What kind of exercise to do? What to eat? How to get restful sleep? Need a doctor to search for root cause? Look no further. Come to Majuba Hill Lifestyle Center Foundation at our Wellness Center in Goodwood, or Food Hub in Darrow Springs, Scarborough, or Doctor's Office in Goodwood and Darrow Spring. Contact 49 Swift 4979 438.
Coconut's Cafe, the buffet restaurant that specializes in all your tasty local dishes. For breakfast and for lunch. Breakfast includes coconut bake and sada roti, served with chokers, bull joil, and sausages in tomato sauce. Not forgetting beef and cheese pies, shepherd's pie, macaroni pie, and rice in various styles. Meat served in a variety of flavors, garden salads, and pasta salads. All this accompanied by fruit juices, coconut water, your choice of a great combination to appease your taste buds. So call us today to order, as we are here to accommodate your busy schedules or if you are having a cooking day off.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Welcome back to the morning show here on Tobago Updates Television, and thank you so much for staying with us. Before we get into our final conversation this morning, we must tell you the answer to our question. Before we went to the break, we did ask you about we asked you to mention three arrangers, pan arrangers from Tobago, and we do have some responses on our Facebook live stream and our YouTube channel. Miss Clarissa George, you know your people. Yes, you know your people, so we must big you up this morning. Clarissa came in with two. There are more than three, but we wanted at least three. And from Clarissa, we got Kirsch Ramsey and Keyshawn Julian. We also have OJ Richards, Duvon Stewart, and Michael Toby. Yes, all pan arrangers from sweet Tobago. Stay tuned to Tobago Updates Television, the morning show, as we bring to you every day this week something about the steel pan. All right, so we get into our final conversation this morning, and we're speaking with Miss Dana Cornell, and she is the secretary and the treasurer of the Bagatelle Dream Builders non-profit organization. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Of course, a pleasure having you in studio this morning. And we want to get into the conversation this morning. Tell us a little bit about the Bagatelle Dream Builders non-profit organization.
Okay. Bagatelle Dream Builders, our non-profit organization, we more focus on the youths and the kids of our community. So we do events like our back to school drive. We did a life skill event as well, and our Christmas, we had our Christmas party for the kids, and we have so much in store in the future coming for Bagatelle. And
so the organization is really focused on youths in the Bagatelle area, or is it?
No, well,
youths in general.
Yeah, youths in general, right? But now the youths in our area now, they show more interest, and they're coming out every time. Every time we have an event, they really show the support, And even we have something in the bag for even the adults in our area, but that is just to come as a surprise. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so this back to school jam. Why tell us what inspired you all to have this back to school jam?
Okay, all right. So our first back to school jam was last year, right? And what the president, Mr. McLean, right? So we sat and we was watching the youths in our area, and we say, you know, we could do something just to help the youths in our area. So we decided to do a back to school jam, and it was so good. So we did, all right, this year we will have another one, right? And the answers and the well, could see the answers, and when people want to find about it, it's been so overwhelming that the registration is full, right? But even though the registration full, you can still come, and no child will be left with nothing. Everybody will get something. You will get stationaries, you know. So yeah.
So tell us a little bit more about the back to school jam. We want to know what it is about and what are the benefits in terms of you were talking about stationaries and stuff. What do you do at the back to school jam?
Okay. So we could say for kids it's a fun day, right? So we have in Bouncy Castle, we have in Bouncy Castle, we have the trampoline, we have snow cone, we have face painting, and all these things we have in the back to school drive. Then we given the bag distribution will be given to the children them who is registered, right? Which is unfortunate, well not unfortunately, but unfortunately it is full, right? But as I say, and even though it's full, they will be getting stationary items and these things like that. Prizes to be won, lots of prizes. We having lots of prizes and everything, all the games and all the bouncy castle, it is free. So you know, so we cater for that. We just have light refreshments on sale, but most of everything it is free. So bring all the children and come and just have a good family time.
All right, and that is happening on the 23rd of August.
Yes, the 23rd of August.
Right, and tell me where it's taking place.
All right, Bagatelle number 2, right, Uptown Tobago, Bagatelle number 2 by a field. If you're all familiar, I don't want to give no free advertisement, but you're familiar with a certain place, a certain guest house, it is inside, right opposite there, you cannot miss it, it's an open field.
All right, all right. So, and I know you mentioned that you all have so many other events, you know, and you're really focused on the young people, the youths, the children in the area. And I know that there is a five-a-side also.
Course.
So
well,
tell us, you know.
Well, that is the thing, right? So we have in our football competition five-a-side, right? First of all, $5,000 to be won. Okay. Right? Five-a-side, right? So it is $250 for a team, $50 per person. Right? We have in prizes for the we have trophies, we have medals, right? We have and different medals, yeah, trophy medals, and these things. Always for the most something player was
most valuable.
yes, MVP. Sorry, yeah. The most valuable player, right? So we having a trophy for that. And so that day, so it's kind of like a 2-day back-to-back event, right?
So this is like the day after?
Yes, the day after. And we have registration online. You can look us up at Bagatelle, right? Bagatelle Dream Builders. You can look at us on Facebook, on Instagram, Bagatelle Dream Builders as well. Right? And our phone number is 765-1493. So we have registration online, and you could call the number and you could come and you could get registration on paper as well.
Okay, and what when is the deadline for the registration for the five-a-side?
The 18th of this, it's the deadline, 18th of August.
Okay. And is this the first year for the five-a-side tournament, or you had it last year as well?
No, this is the first year for the five-a-side tournament, so that's why we're so excited to have this and one team to come out, and it don't really have an age limit. So if a team come out like a younger team and a next younger team, we put them together to play. So if something like is like we want to just bring back that is like a fun, community vibe. Community vibes, a fun, a energy, right? Clean fun. Yeah.
And we sense in your excitement, and we really, really look forward to the success of this and the success of the back to school jam as well. And we do hope that people do come out, they register. And in terms of sponsorships and people coming on board, because I know an event like of this nature where you're talking about children getting things free for back to school, all the kids who come, the games are free, the activities are free. People must have sponsored and partnered with you. So tell me about the partnerships that you have with some of the people.
Okay. First of all, we have some sponsorship, which we do thank you so much. And we have Dynasty Events, Penny Savers, Bride and PI, Miss Natasha Charles Panton. We have Mr. Nigel Tate. David Thomas, Better Credit Union, K&N Forbes, Bermudas, and well, that is just to name a few of the sponsors that we have, and we gratefully appreciate you all coming on board, because without the sponsors we can't do this. Right? And we thank you for that.
All right. Well, of course, we wish you the absolute best with your events, and we do hope to hear, after the event, how successful it was. So, of course, thank you so much for coming this morning and sharing that information with us, and all the absolute best to you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Of course. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we have to end the morning show, but it's not where we end our programming. We head on over to GMT, which is Good Morning Tobago. So do stay with us, and as you stay, we invite you to help us.
Share the live, share the live, share the live.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning, good morning, morning, good morning, morning.
Once you see my face, you already know what time it is. It's that time where we bring you the latest coming out of the Tobago House of Assembly. Spend the next few minutes with me as I bring you up to speed. This is 116.
Beautiful island.
For the first time ever, the Dodds Diving World Championships will be held in Tobago, in the village of Charlottesville. The event promises to be exciting, starting at 10 a.m. with an after party at 6 p.m. It's an event you don't want to miss. And guys, we'll bring you more of the action in our next episode of 116. The Secretary of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment and Sustainable Development recently participated in the 2025 SIF conference in Jamaica. The conference was aimed at promoting investment in agriculture, green innovation and digital growth. The Tobago team included Administrator Julian Skeet and other members of staff. Meanwhile, Secretary Natisha Charles Panton also represented Tobago at the 2025 International Conference on Reducing Food Loss and Waste in China, joining global leaders in the call for more resilient, efficient food systems.
In conclusion, for Trinidad and Tobago, reducing food loss and waste remains a balancing act. Therefore, it is important for those already established countries and states to foster regional collaborations with our developing islands in order to derive the success required in the Caribbean region and most certainly in Trinidad and Tobago. I thank you.
The Secretary of Health, Wellness and Social Protection, Dr. Faith Brebner, is in Bangkok, Thailand for the International Conference on Public Health 2025. Over 100 caregivers participated in a year-long training program led by the Division of Health, Wellness and Social Protection and the Tobago Regional Health Authority, gaining skills in CPR, nutrition, mental health support and patient care. And guess what? They all received certificates of participation in the end.
I love Tobago because of the naturalness and the calm and the tranquility. It's when you're in Tobago, right? It's like you immerse yourself into a panorama of exotic settings. You have the beaches, you have the green vegetation, you could go hunting, you could go swimming, and you could live a healthy life based on good principle and discipline. And you can eat healthy and live healthy. Organic food, you can plant your own stuff. This is why I love Buddy Island.
I like Tobago because it doubles. Because Tobago is the best doubles place. And the people in Tobago is like family. Without family, it's nothing.
The majority of places I see going is beaches, skating rinks,
and also river and parks.
I love Tobago, the sea, the mango, plenty fruits, and the free, you're free. You can do what you want. You can lie down in the savannah and spend the night. You can't do that in Trini. If you spend the night, you ain't gonna get no slippers. Tobago, you could sleep. You can get up normal. You can lie down on a tree comfortable. This is the place to come and be. Tobago, no other place but Tobago. You saw we doing it? We have a whole mango tree for ourselves. You understand? Enough for everybody. So you don't know. I'm going up again.
And that's a wrap for this week's episode of 116. As always, if you've missed any of our episodes, you can catch them all on our social media platforms. I'm Patricia Nicholson Richards, and we'll catch up in our next episode.
One, six. Beautiful island.
You're viewing Tobago Updates Television, your exclusive gateway to Tobago, broadcasting the beauty of this island paradise to the world.
Welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. I am your host, Chanel Felix. And you know, whenever you see me sitting here, it's because we're about to have those conversations that you want to have while I ask those questions that you want asked. But before we get into this morning's interesting topics and conversations, let's have our news in 90 seconds. Tobago's leadership is ensuring that the island's voices are being heard in the national discussion on the proposed Stand Your Ground legislation. Chief Secretary Fali Augustine confirmed that Tobago will participate in ongoing consultations due to potential impact on tourism. While the Tobago House of Assembly will not host separate sessions, Augustine said members of Parliament will engage residents to gather feedback. He stressed the importance of public sentiment in guiding Tobago's stance, noting the final position will reflect Tobagonians' views on the controversial measure and its possible implications for the island's reputation and visitor experience. Additionally, Prime Minister Kamala Persad-Bissessar is expected to visit Tobago before August ends. According to Tobago East MP David Thomas, several ministers have already made official visits, with the trip likely to be set before Parliament's reopening to allow consultations on pending matters. Since her April 28 election victory, Persad-Bissessar has stressed building respectful cooperative ties with the Tobago House of Assembly, contrasting past tensions under the PNM. A May 27th meeting with the THA Chief Secretary Fali Augustine focused on Tobago's growth, autonomy, and strengthening the government of the THA and collaboration for the island's development. And finally, from 2025, pupils and teachers will enjoy a 8-week July-August break instead of 7, following Cabinet's approval of the revised school year calendar. The Ministry of Education announced on August 11th. The 39 weeks of instruction remain, with terms now running 14, 12, and 13 weeks respectively. The change aims to better balance terms, allow uninterrupted repairs and upgrades to 278 schools and gives more time to fill vacancies before reopening. Education Minister Dr. Mitchell Dowler said the ministry is committed to ensuring a well-prepared and efficient start to the new school year. And that was on news in 90 seconds. This morning, we jump right into our conversation and we are talking all about 2025 Great Race. And to have that conversation with me this morning, I have one of the first-time participants, a Tobago-based participant, Mr. Otis Edmond, also known as Blue. Good morning and welcome.
Hi, good morning.
All right. Well, now it's a pleasure to have you in studio with us this morning. And this is your first time entering the Great Race competition. And you will be representing yourself as well as Tobago in the competition. Tell us about, your start in actual competitive boat racing. Is it that you have been racing competitively before and this is your first time at the Great Race? Or is this your first competitive race?
No, well, actually, it's not my first time racing. I get into it about 2-3 years ago. I just buy a boat just for buying a boat's sake. When Castara race were coming up Saturday, Sunday coming up again.
Right.
And I just fall into the racing and that was it.
Right. So, usually persons that are a part of the boat racing, they would have, been a part of it for years. They would have seen their uncles and their brothers and friends and just have been a part of that racing community, for almost all their lives. And then you're saying that, one day you just decided, I want to make an investment in a boat.
Yep.
And you went from, just not even owning a boat to being a boat racer. Right. So, tell us about that learning curve for you. Is it that you got a tutor or you are self-taught?
Well, I guess I self-taught because once I set my mind behind something, I go full 100 behind it.
Right.
So that wasn't something I pick up back then. I just see it, like it, do it.
Right.
So that's how
so what does that entail? Does it entail a couple YouTube videos, or are you just going out on the water and figuring it out as you go?
No, well, I in a boat association that is Tobago boaters.
Right.
So I learn a lot from them.
Right.
A lot from them. So
that has created a community of mentorship as well that has helped you to find your footing. Who are some of the other Tobago-based boaters who are going to be a part of this great race?
Well, Blue Ice, that is Ashwell, Short Boss, he from Roxborough, and Singh.
Right. So even when you purchased the boat was purchased as a racing boat. So
Nope.
Oh, okay, right. So tell us about that. Tell us about moving from, buying a regular boat, the kind of boat that you got and the work that went into transforming that boat to be race ready.
Well, it's a very long story. I'll try to take it short.
Yeah.
Well, I start off with somebody named, better known as Thanos, Crimper, and I just watching he racing and thing, and then I follow his footstep, coming out with certain regattas and thing in Tobago, and my boat was very slow, so I start off limping, I get real bash, and now I'm up there.
Right. So what is the process of moving from a boat that is deemed to be the snail on water to being one of the fastest boats on water?
Well,
And how was that process done in Tobago? Or did you have to go to Trinidad and get the necessary parts and equipment to get the boat up to that standard?
Everything done in Tobago.
Wow.
As I said, Short Boss, better known as Rollo. He's my mechanic. Crimper, better known as Thanos. Them sort out my boat. And I know a little about mechanics, so 3 persons come together, we build the boat together.
Wow. And, tell us about the mechanical testing that goes into preparing for a race to ensure that you are capable of, doing the entire race without hiccup. Because we know that you could start off strong, but persons often encounter a number of technical difficulties out on water, or in this case, mechanical difficulties. So, what type of mechanical testing or rigorous testing does it go through before the race?
Well, so far what I do, I end up and drain out my tank, make sure my plugs good, make sure my filters good, make sure everything concerning the engine good. But you can never tell what might take place out there.
Right.
Yes, so I just hoping to reach up the road, and I'll be very happy. I am planning to place. If I place, but...
Well, we are hoping for you because, there's this thing they call first-timers luck.
Of course.
Right? So we are hoping that you do participate and, exceed even your own expectations. Tell us about some of the safety precautions that go into being a part of the race and preparing for the race.
Well, make sure wear helmet, life jacket. Well, over here, helmet, life jacket. Well, the great race is a lot of things you have to put in your boat just to come up the road. So I'm still prepping for it.
Right.
So it's a lot of things.
Right. And, even as we round up this discussion, remind persons when the race is going to be, what time it's going to start, where it's going to start from, where it's going to finish, and the routes.
Well, I'm not too sure about the route because it's my first time.
Right.
But I know it's from Trinidad to Tobago and it's down Chagaramas. So I think the race starts about my boat leaving 7:30. And the rest of them, the bigger boat category, leaving from 7:40, 8 o'clock.
Okay, onwards, right. And you will be finishing at
Storby.
All right, well, we want to wish you all the best with this race. And we are, sending all the good vibe and good energy to the Blue Extreme team this morning and all the persons in the background that work assiduously to ensure that, there is success in this race. And so we are wishing you nothing but the best. And I guess your co-pilot on Saturday as well, you want to shout them out.
Yeah, I want to bring up Hans, better known as Soap Dish. Yeah, he's my driver, a very good one. So.
Right, so you are co-piloting?
Yeah, I the chatter man. Okay. I control the speed, he drive.
Excellent. And well, we want to shout out the entire team, all the logistics that go behind preparation and ensuring that there is not only a successful race, but a safe race. So we are wishing you all the best with that.
Yeah.
Right, is there anything else you want to say before we close off this one?
I just want to bring up my local sponsors on them.
Right.
That is Tobago Limers, Nails by Pearl and Extreme Nails. Them sponsor me, so I am very happy for that. I say I'm going to give them a little shout out.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, we want to thank you so much for being here this morning. And again, shout out to the Blue Extreme team. And we are wishing you all the best for that great race come this weekend. Guys, we're going to take a quick break right here and we'll be back right after this. See you soon.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion. I beat it road, all day we beat it road, all day I beat it road, all day we beat it road. When the spirit it, I beat it road, spirit it, I beat it road. When the spirit it, I beat it road. What to do? Let me see how stick you could get, see how stick you could get. Let me see how stick you could, see how stick you could, see how stick you could get. Let me see how stick you could get, see how stick you could get. Let me see how stick you could, see how stick you could, see how stick you could get. Wet me down, 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 wet me down. Right now I'm overheated. Wet me down, 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 wet me down. Right now I'm over.
August, you have no excuse. A night of passion, power, and purpose.
The Rhythmic Vibrations and Rhythm Babes Performing Arts Company presents
no excuse. Join us on Tuesday, 12th of August at the Shaw Park Complex at 6 p.m. for a night of dance, drama, and song.
This is not just a show. It's a movement, a message, a moment.
Tickets are only $125 for adults and $75 for children. You don't want to miss this.
What's your excuse?
No excuse.
Hello, New York. Are you ready to celebrate the essence of Crusoe Land and the culture of Tobago? Well, get ready for Tobago Day in New York City, hosted by the Tobago Empowerment and Alliance Mission, Sunday, August 17th, 2025, Nazareth High School Courtyard, 475 East 57th Street, Brooklyn, New York, 12 noon to 8 p.m. We bring the Tobago vibes to the Big Apple. Live music, Tobago food, cultural performances, and family fun. So bring Tanty, Granny, the uncle, invite the whole neighborhood. Just bring everybody and bring your significant other too. Come celebrate Tobago Day in New York City, Sunday, August 17th, Nazareth High School Courtyard. But hey, I forget to tell all you, it's we 10th anniversary celebration. For more information, call 929-327-7857 or check Team's Facebook and Instagram pages, Team Tobago Day.
With Flow Business's new smart solutions, powered by super fast, reliable broadband, you'll feel like there are more versions of you working for you. From website design, development, and digital marketing to promote your business, 24/7 business class support to cloud solutions, security, and more. Multiply your growth today.
Hair goals, we've got them. At S&R Hair Fantasy, we provide a wide variety of quality hair, the latest hair accessories, adult toys, skin lightening products, female underwear, and much more under one roof. Check us out on Shelbourne Street in Plymouth or call us at 317-0808. We're open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. S&R Hair Fantasy for queens who know exactly what they want.
Good morning, and welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. Guys, we continue our conversations this morning and we delve a bit into politics. And with that being said, I have the privilege of sitting in studio this morning and chatting with Dr. Sean Ned, who is the chairman of the Progressive Democratic Patriots. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning, Tobago.
Right. Well, you know, Dr. Ned, persons call you the most loyal man in Tobago, right? If only they could have someone like you. You have stuck beside the political leader of the PDP from the beginning to now, even during, times where the party would have had instability and separated from some of its core members and its core base. You are there with Mr. Duke as you prepare for that THA elections that are coming up. You know, tell us about what it's taking to remain stable in the midst of instability, specifically coming out of the results from the last general elections.
Thank you for the question. So I've heard this assessment of myself from other people as well. The way in which we view this is that we are linked to an idea.
Right.
Myself and the political leader are just merely the figureheads on a broader idea that a lot of Tobagonians attach themselves to. And that idea and set of principles have not changed. And in that sense, stability cannot be taken away from a core idea. And in going forward, we expect people who have the same ideas to be with us. And this is what's going to drive us in terms of looking at the historical context of, okay, we did not win an election, but there are a lot of things around why that occurred. So we have to accept successes as well as pitfalls and move ahead. And as it stands right now, persons in the space still are clamoring. This is why we set out that initial press release, asking persons to make a decision, right? You have the time now to review those who have taken up power on all sides, and you've had the time to review how we would have operated separate from those in the current position of power. And as such, looking forward as we go into another election cycle, we await the election date to be called, right? And we expect to put forward our full slate, and we expect that the Tobago people will have to make a decision. Do they want the status quo to continue, right? Where persons come in, they give promises and they change their minds. Or do you wish to be associated with persons who will follow through? And I don't think I have to make any proof of that for myself or the political leader or those who have been seriously at our side from day one.
Right. And what do you say to the persons who say, you know, the PDP no longer has the kind of support that it once had? And, you know, that can be attributed to the results that we've seen in the last general election, that a lot of the support that you once had no longer exists. How do you respond to that?
Well, we don't believe that. The fact is that Tobago is a very small space, and persons will vote their interests at the time. And we recall from the general election that the messaging that came out was through UNC, right? If the UNC wins, everybody wins, and there's an attachment to the now present MPs in Tobago. And then we have the reminder that it is actually PDP that won the election in the last THA election. No matter what we say, that is the truth. And the things that people attach themselves did not change. They had certain expectations of the party and the members of that party that were put forth to be current assemblymen or candidates at the time. And so we just simply remain that group that's attached to the things that persons agreed with and that they wanted in the space of Tobago. And we're continuing to push that narrative and showcase the ability to actually get these things done once we have the opportunity to do so.
Right. And tell us about what that preparation is looking like right now. You know, you said that you are going to put forward a full slate for the THA election. Does that mean that you yourself would be a candidate in that upcoming election? What can we expect from the PDP?
So that will be to be seen, right? What we're doing is taking things in its due course. The first thing that we need is to have an actual election date, right? No election date has been called, right? So in the interim, we must look inwardly and we must speak to the membership in the community and understand what they want from us, what they expect from us, and if they decide to give our support, give us their support, that we will actually push forward with those things that we all agree on.
Right. And, you know, what would you be doing as chairman, you know, in collaboration with the political leader to try to regain some of that support that has been lost from that fallout that happened in the party as it pertains to this upcoming THA election?
Right. It's always, your statement is hard to characterize. It's persons would have watch what happened, and they would, in many forms, they would have made a decision to go to the side that would least affect them personally. I'll say it like that. All right? It is not easy, including my position here, where I've been attacked on several fronts, to take on a role where you are critiquing the incumbent government. All right? And what we expect going forward is that us as a party will be able to represent certain ideals in leadership and how we actually get things done in the space.
Right, and even as it pertains to what this administration has invested its time, its energy, and its money into, we saw a press release that came out from the office of the leader of the, from the party on a whole, criticizing the events that took place on Saturday, indicating that Tobago should spend its limited resources on more critical matters. Can you comment on that?
Sure. So that came out of my desk. The general idea is asking the overall question: how should the resources of the THA be spent? All right. And when you look at different things, and that is nothing to say anything bad about DUDs, that's what you're speaking about. They dive in, I think they're clearly excellent in what they do. But we have a limited purse in Tobago to spend. And you have to ask yourself the question, when several groups are still owed money and they're told that there's not enough money in the THA, but you're seeing money is being spent for activities that don't clearly bring in revenue. Because if you are not making enough money to handle your affairs, it probably is not the best idea to take on activities that spend money out from the coffers of your organization. Right? Now, you can make the argument that it's adding to the economy, at least locally, right? Because people in Charlottesville were praising for that particular day that they had persons come in supporting their businesses, etc. However, that is not the point. The point, though, is whenever you're doing anything in an industry, the monies that come in from that activity should come into your coffers, which mean the coffers of the THA, not necessarily outside vendors, right? Which is good, but that is a separate discussion. So if you are making a decision that reduces the amount of money and you still have persons that you owe, that doesn't seem like the best approach in using government money and resources.
Understood. And when we look at the impact of the Dodds diving tournament that took place in Tobago, the type of international exposure, the marketing that it does for the island, some would say it's invaluable to have these type of relationships and the type of exposure that Tobago now has from having this relationship for the next 2 years as well. But you're saying that with the limited resources, we have more important things to focus on. How do you draw the line between, okay, saying we need economic diversification, we need more drivers for tourism, we need more persons to come to the island to bring in forex currency, and then saying, okay, but you're leaving these things unmanned, or you're not giving it the type of attention that it needs? How do you strike that balance?
Right. So there's a couple of things. One is timing and planning. And that as an idea is always good, because for our tourism, you want to have exposure. That's accepted. But is this the right timing for that approach, right? What exactly is our industry in Tobago, right? We've always focused on tourism, and we've always said, let us have more exposure. Has that statement, right, transitioned into actual monies into the coffers of the THA? I haven't seen it, right? In terms of monies reported as coming into the coffers, the focus was on actually the capital of paradise, the fishing boat. I don't really hear much coming out of tourism in terms of monies gained, right? Just the idea that if you have more tourists coming onto the island and more people coming onto the island, that we would magically make more money. But that does not translate to the business of running the THA. Otherwise, we are simply focused on sapping money from Trinidad to see we're going to use that to encourage people to come on to the island and increase an economy. So that is kind of the issue there. Yeah.
Understood. Even as it pertains to the resources needed to run an effective election campaign, do you think that your party is sufficiently positioned to run a competitive campaign in the upcoming THA election?
This reminds me of a question I would have had to the chair of the EBC, right, regarding any party in Trinidad and Tobago. No party really can properly be a full impact without resources overall. And what we've seen, allegedly, is money somehow magically enter, in this case, a new party, right, after winning and having access to the coffers of the whole THA and or the government itself. Beyond that, getting support from persons is a grassroots activity. You really have to work with the persons in the communities. It's more of a NGO style approach to doing things, right? So we're always going to be in that sort of position where we have lots of supporters, but in the space of Trinidad and Tobago, it does not support small parties. There's a lot of small parties across Trinidad and Tobago. PDP originally had that problem. We fought through, we won, right? And now the persons have taken up what I would say is a major party stance, right? Where PNM and UNC typically have access to the financiers because they have access to the control, right? And the decisions for a country. And, so getting back to your question, with that in context and that in mind, we always fall back on the people and the people on what they want. The people will decide whether or not they wish to see our ideals represented inside of a leadership position. And if it is that they're just going to follow the money, then there's nothing we could do about it. In fact, no new party can do anything within that context. And that includes many of the parties that have come before us, right? If they cannot find some sort of suitable approach to gaining money, which is in fact blocked in this country for, you can have an FIU discussion and a compliance discussion and a banking discussion. Whenever you say that you are politically exposed, that's a problem in this country, and it does not support actually growth of parties, right? Especially if you have an ideal, all right? So I think within that context, we again are going to follow the people and what they want and present ourselves, just as we did initially, to the people to say yes or no.
So do you think you have the enough resources to win an election?
That will be seen as we go forward, all right? We have resources to do certain specific things, but are you asking, do we have tens of millions of dollars? Like when you see, you put on your phone and a PNM ad comes up, right, number of times, we don't have money for that, right? I don't think that's a reasonable expectation from any party.
Do you think that some of the actions of the political leader has, reduced the confidence of Tobagonians in the PDP?
Well, you'll have to give an example of what that would be.
I mean, there was an inappropriate relationship with Keezel Jackson. There were a number of public statements that were quite controversial that he would have made. Do you think that these things would have driven Tobagonians far away from the party?
No, I don't think so. This is in line with the fact that in starting out, Mr. Duke had a charge on him and that was used forever by the PLM to discount him. So people make a decision based on the person's ability to actually do the work that's required once they're in power. That's what you want. If you want to say that every other politician is a saint, I'd like you to list what politician that is. Mr. Duke is a more flamboyant person sometimes, but that is because we are in Tobago culture and we have to express ourselves in a certain way to get attention and to get things done. So I'm not going to comment there, right? But overall, a lot of these issues that you've mentioned have been fully trashed out over the past how many years now. So I think at this point, many people have settled their minds either way on these matters. And for the past, year, 2 years, there's nothing. In fact, people are asking, where are you? Where are you, Mr. Duke? That's what I get.
Right. And, even with people asking, where is Mr. Duke, do you think that he is adequately representing his constituency at this time and representing them even at the Assembly legislature during those debates and discussions?
Well, the reports I'm getting from that is that, and this is for every THA cycle, that the individuals that control the resources and the infrastructural development and the jobs in the space is not actually the assemblymen. It would actually be the secretaries who hold that weight. And there's not much of a good relationship, it seems, in general in the THA and professionally across the divisions. So him as an assemblyman can directly vouch or represent the persons in his district. But if the secretary say no, or the executive council says no, or they're ignoring him, as we've had numerous instances inside of the Tobago House of Assembly sit-ins, then what can you expect from any given assemblyman? In fact, you would have to ask how the other assemblymen toe the line. They have to, unless or else you have blocks from the executive council.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break right here and we'll be back with much more on this discussion with the chairman of the PDP. See you soon.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion.
Hair goals, we've got them. At S&R Hair Fantasy, we provide a wide variety of quality hair, the latest hair accessories, adult toys, skin lightening products, female underwear, and much more under one roof. Check us out on Shelbourne Street in Plymouth or call us at 317-0808. We're open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. S&R Hair Fantasy for queens who know exactly what they want.
Are you in a dispute with a registered investment service provider of the TTSEC? Or maybe you're the victim of an investment scam? You can lodge a complaint or submit an anonymous tip to the Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission. Download our Investor Protection app or go to ttsec.org.tt to access our complaint form or submit an anonymous tip. Write a clear summary of your complaint. Submit copies of supporting documents along with the originals for verification. Provide a copy of the feedback received from the entity regarding your complaint. All investor complaints or scam reports submitted by the public are acknowledged and reviewed by the TTSEC. Investigations are pursued based on the outcome of the review. Trinidad and Tobago Securities and Exchange Commission, protecting the interests of investors and the public. You invest. We protect. Everyone benefits.
Courts is well known as the Caribbean's largest retailer, providing consumers for generations with the very best products to enhance their homes. This year, we bring our expertise to businesses. Courts Business Solutions will serve small, medium, and large companies with the very best products at the most competitive prices, backed by warranties and after-sales support. Hoteliers, office managers, restaurants, and so many more. Courts Business Solutions, a brand of the Unicomer Group.
welcome back to Good Morning Tobago right here on Tobago Updates. Guys, I have been sitting in studio and chatting with the chairman of the PDP, Dr. Sean Ned. Good morning and welcome back.
Good morning.
So we've been chatting a bit about how your party is currently preparing for the THA election, you know, some of the reputational damage that has been done by that fallout that took place within the party. And what does that look like for your organization moving forward in the upcoming THA election? Now, a number of the persons who were a part of your executive are now a part of the TPP executive. A number of persons who supported and wore your jersey are now supporting, representing, and wearing TPP jerseys. When you see the sea of blue that came out for that general election, what does that tell you about your support base and where they are now?
Well, as I was, and I thank you for the question, right? As I was sharing earlier, persons have a right to make their own decisions in the Tobago space. Tobago is small, right? There's not a mass of people that you can really consider permanent in a way, right? So you have to work with persons and their interests. The TPP, and you just made the point again about money, which we were just talking about. Persons follow in the general context money. So if the party is demonstrating, come with us, we're going to give you our job, come with us, you'll be part of the gear jersey and a flag and all this stuff. In the context of Tobago, that usually gains a lot of followers, right? But when we were campaigning in the general election, it was very obvious to us that the messaging and the direction and the sense that we were making beat out the whatever was coming from the other side, right? And a good example of that was the conversations with the candidates that occurred, where I would have to say that in an objective sense, the political leader won the east side of that debate, and our west candidate stood neck and neck with Ms. Chamfa Kudjo, right? But what we saw was a barrage of marketing, right, that allowed people to say that they didn't hear us, they didn't see us. When they did hear us and see us, they supported us, right? So this money in politics thing is a very difficult idea, and it's hard to then quantify how many people are actually supporting any given entity. A good example of that was the TOP, who would have had yellow across all of Tobago and then lost all 12 seats, right? So the metric by which we use visuals to decide on who supports a party does not seem to have any consistency in the space. And then we have your point about the bad reputation and all of that. Again, that is debatable. Many of the points were just sort of given to the current THA persons. And in any sort of analysis, right, you'll understand that Mr. Duke had a very good point in when he was doing what he was doing. Specifically, the example of the going up in I think it was New York, right, when those persons were stranded up there. In fact, I was asked about that, and the question would be, is it that if somebody goes up under the Tobago banner and they're not planning well, they don't get their accommodations, because that's what was said, that the people didn't make correct accommodations for themselves. The problem with that is that the responsibility still lies on the THA, because you are a citizen, you're almost a child of Tobago as you represent Tobago in another country. In some ways, you should be under the central government because you're coming from Trinidad and Tobago. But we understand that if you come to the THA and ask them for money to help do something for Tobago, the THA has a due diligence expectations. And that is why, again, even now you have Mr. Augustine would make arrangements to still help the persons while still saying that they did the wrong thing, right? You as the entity are responsible for vetting the people and the planning and approach that they take to doing these trips. If they are not doing the accurate thing, and you should stay away from them, right? So that there is again a point of contention in terms of how we looked at that big blow up, because when that occurred, a lot of things happened afterwards, right? That's now of public record, all right? And the party and Mr. Duke was judged accordingly on that particular thing, saying that he was wrong. It's not so clear that he was wrong, right? What should have happened, there's a discussion instead of a blowout. And you can call out and critique, but I don't think persons are showing a level of maturity when they are critiqued.
Understood. And, finally, even as we approach that election season, how soon can we see nominations or candidate screening, taking place within the PDP? And is there currently a call for candidates to present themselves to the party?
All right, so as we said, we release that in due time. Our goal right now is to observe, right, make our general points in terms of what we expect to see and do in Tobago. The normal election cycle is the same. Where's your slate? What are you all doing? Can we how can you join? But the larger question is, when you do put, even if it's one person inside there, what do they represent? What is their leadership style? Do they have a track record of actually getting things done? And I think we are showing that. Even with little, we get a lot done. And with a lot, we expect to get even more done. And that opportunity should have come, but, people made decisions to change their minds. And that's up to them. But the persons that they run, that they lead, also get a decision to see whether or not they should stay. And in viewing the outcomes and expectations of that leadership, it's hard to say what exactly has been the successes of the THU over the last 3 to 4 years, right? And if it is that there are successes, what are the ways in which you can measure that success? Our way to do so is to say, if you made promises to the people through a mandate or a manifesto, whatever you want to say, right? What did you do out of that list that was successful and complete, right? And if that is found wanting, persons need to decide whether or not they wish to keep the individuals who put themselves forward and got voted in based on that mandate.
Understood. We want to thank you so much, as well as your party, for being here this morning and giving us some fresh insights into how you are preparing and where you stand as it pertains to that upcoming THA election. Guys, we want to thank you so much for being a part of this morning's discussions. We want to thank you for your likes, your shares, and your comments, and all that you have been doing and continue to do to make Tobago Updates the #1 broadcaster here on the island of Tobago. Again, I am your host, Chanel Felix, and have a great day.
It's a brand new morning, rise up to a brand new dawning as the passion start around.